In Star Wars, the Force is strong, but nothing stronger than fandom, and that power source is nostalgia. For the Star Wars generation, we're always chasing that first high when the screen was covered by a starship the size of a city. For me, a kid of the 70s, the original Star Wars trilogy were some of the first films I remember. I didn't watch them critically. These were epic space fairy tales filled with noble knights and fearsome villains. Luke losing his hand in Empire Strikes Back caused me months of nightmares. And when the Millennium Falcon soared through that asteroid field, I was transfixed. Star Wars opened my heart to the possibility of these imagined worlds on screen. And in a sense, we've been chasing that feeling ever since.
I'm no one.
With his first Star Wars film, J.J. Abrams gave us a new cast of characters in a series of familiar predicaments: a desert planet, an orphan looking for purpose in the world, and a supersized Death Star ready to destroy everything. Then Abrams passed the lightsaber to Rian Johnson for his film, The Last Jedi. The film turned Luke Skywalker into a space ghost, ended the speculation about Rey's origin, and injected the Star Wars universe with vital and visceral new moments. But the fandom roared back, fruitless petitions were signed, and now here we are, J.J. Abrams returning to pilot the final installment in the modern series that started over 40 years ago.
We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
The Rise of Skywalker begins on familiar footing, the Resistance gathering numbers and intelligence, preparing to fight back against the First Order. But Rey is distracted. The long-distance Force party line, the connection between her and Kylo Ren, seems stronger than ever as he tries to lure her over to the dark side.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But there's another more powerful presence at play this time. If you watch the trailer, you know the source of that frightful cackle: Emperor Palpatine returning in all his haggard glory.
Long have I waited.
And so as Poe hits the hyperdrive, we're skipping along at light speed, toggling back and forth between Kylo Ren confronting the Dark Lord, Rey chasing her own origin, and the Resistance preparing for one last stand again.
Spotted the fugitives.
But for the most part, the last installment refocuses on the trio Finn, Rey, and Poe, the rebel, the warrior, and the rogue. From the forest base of the Resistance to a new desert speeder chase with skybound stormtroopers, Rise of Skywalker is packed with enjoyable set pieces.
Oh, they fly now! They fly now?
And yet, some of the most powerful moments are the quietest. Oscar Isaac's both flirting and accepting rejection with a single glance. Daisy Ridley as Rey, the perfect continuation of Luke Skywalker in both fury and grace. And another moment which I don't dare spoil that could melt even a Wampa's heart. As they say in Star Wars, it's never too late, and no one is ever really gone.
This will be the final word.
Abrams makes full use of the elements, tidal waves washing up against old war relics as the forces of light and dark battle. With such a dizzying pace midway through, I thought maybe Abrams had done it. Finally escaped that tractor beam of the originals. But no, as Rey faces a final opponent, the air is thick with deja vu. Another Jedi tempted as destruction looms for the withering rebel force. So Rise of Skywalker seems to be what fans asked for, but is this the best we can hope for?
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir, at my friends.
We'll never be young again. We'll never have that first glimpse of a friendship like R2-D2 and C-3PO, or fear the fearsome menace of Darth Vader. Afraid to make bold new beginnings, the best we can hope for are echoes. The only way to have feelings of awe and inspiration again isn't to pander to the past, but to push forward. What we have with The Rise of Skywalker is cinematic comfort food. So pull on your Star Wars PJs, dust off your action figures, and sit down for one final grand adventure.
The Force will be with you.
Always.
3.5 stars out of 5. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Toronto.